So I thought we'd do some of these problems together. I'm going to start with letter M, 25 millimeters to decimeters. First, I want to copy down the digits. That's 25. The decimal point started to the left of the 2. And to go from millimeters to decimeters, millimeters is here. So that's 1, 2 legal moves to the left. So I move that 1, 2 spots, put the new decimal and the new units, 0.0025 decimeters. We'll do letter O next. It looks like we have 8,016.572 kilograms and we want to go to milligrams. So I copy down the digits, 8016572, and the decimal point was originally between the 6 and the 5, going from kilograms to milligrams. I think those are 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legal moves to the right. So I move the decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legal moves to the right. Empty cradles get zeros. And the new units are milligrams. And so those are both decimals going from a smaller to a larger unit and a larger unit to a smaller unit. How about 3.1 miles into feet? Well, to do that, I'd have to go from miles to yards to feet. And then I can use the equivalents that are listed up here to go from miles to yards and yards to feet. I copied the original value over 1. Oops, I almost put the decimal place in the wrong spot. 3.1 miles. Put that over 1. I build my skeleton with just units. Get rid of miles, put them in the basement, and go to yards. Put yards on top, but I don't really want yards, so they go in the basement. And following my plan, I go to feet. Using my equivalents up here, we see that there are 1,760 yards in a mile. 1,760 yards is 1 mile, and that 1 yard is 3 feet. And so these numbers, because they're all on the top of the fraction, we'd multiply those. So we do 3.1 times 1,760 times 3 equals 16,368 feet. And 3.1 miles would be a lot of feet, so that seems reasonable. Let's see if we can go from a small one to a larger one, inches to yards. Let's try this one. We go from inches to yards. To that, we'd go from inches to feet to yards. Again, this is British to British, so we can use the units up here. Copy down the original value, 4323 inches and units. Build the skeleton with units only. To get rid of inches, they need to go on the bottom, and we want to go to feet, so they go on the top. Get rid of feet, so they go on the bottom. And from feet to yards, we need equivalents on the top and bottom, so 1 foot and 12 inches are the same length, and 3 feet and 1 yard are the same length. Now I'm going to type in 4,323. And because these numbers are on the bottom in the denominator, I want to divide by 12 and then divide by 3. And we get an answer of about 120 yards. It looks like it's 120.08 or 120.1. And then inches cancel out, feet cancel out, leaving us with just yards. So it looks like it's about 120 yards long, which actually that's really close to the length of a football field if you include the end zones. How about a problem that has both metric and British units? Now, when we have the metric to metric, we can just write down the digits and move the decimal point and put the new units in. When we have British to British, whether it be distances like inches, feet, yards, miles, or seconds, minutes, hours, days, or ounces to pounds, we have to build the skeleton. Whenever you've got units that have both metric and British units, we're going to end up having to use this 2.54 centimeters as an inch. When you do this, you want to build the skeleton for the whole honkin' thing. So 25 meters into yards. Well, getting meters, is meters easier to get to inches or centimeters? Well, centimeters, of course. So we'll go centimeters, meters to centimeters use this equivalent to go from centimeter to inches, and then we'll go feet to yards. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fractions in our skeleton. So we made our plan, 25 meters over 1 fraction, 2, 3, 4, 5 fractions. Get rid of meters and go to centimeters, get rid of centimeters and go to inches, get rid of inches and go to feet, get rid of feet and go to yards. We know that we have 2.54 centimeters is an inch. We know that, well, heck, that wasn't right at all. That's centimeters and meters. So we need 100 centimeters is 1 meter, and now 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Make sure this is legible. 100 centimeters over 1 meter. Okay, we know there are 12 inches in a foot, and there's 3 feet in 1 yard. So meters, 100 centimeters in a meter, 2.54 centimeters an inch, 12 inches. All right, so and all the numbers across the top, we multiply, all the numbers across the bottom, we divide. So we start with 25 meters times 100 divided by 2.54 divided by 12 divided by 3 equals 27. And a meter is just a little bit longer than a yard, and we get an answer of 27.34. 27.34. And the answer, meters cancel out, centimeters cancel out, inches cancel out, feet cancel out, and we get yards. And that's a reasonable. So those are all the different kinds of problems. It's not the answers for all of them, but it tells you how to work through metric to metric, British to British, and a metric to British. And obviously you could go British to metric going the opposite way. You just need that 2.54 centimeters in an inch conversion. I hope that helps.